What's up, guys? This is my back workout video. Today I didn't have much time, so I hit lots of different exercises and I wanted to get a well-rounded back workout. I started with pull-ups. I didn't go neutral grip here. I went a little bit wider to get some lower traps involved. Also lats, of course. At the very bottom on the eccentric, I'm really trying to stretch the lats out and then initiate the movement with the shoulder blades depressing right there. So before any motion occurs at the elbows, you should see my body start to elevate. I'm really trying to drive my elbows into my rib cage here and just squeeze the hell out of the lats and build as much tension as possible. This is my second set. I think I only did 8 here. Surprisingly, this is really tough. I guess I got fatigued on my first one. But yeah, I think I did 8. And they're all clean reps. They're all pretty strict. Full range of motion for me. After that, I went to a dumbbell single arm row. My foot positioning is a little bit different than your standard position for this. I have my left foot in front and I'm using my left hand to row. I'm doing that for more support and it kind of prevents my spine from rotating, and I'm putting all the stress on the lat. I'm really just thinking about taking my elbow and pulling it right back toward my hip. My hand and the dumbbell, they're kind of just trailing arms, are following along, hanging out for the ride. But I'm keeping everything in tight and squeezing the lats and driving that elbow toward that left hip and trying to brace everything else. After that, I did something very similar to this, another single arm row. I'm using hammer strength iso. I'm back like that because of something called a strength profile and a resistance profile. So in a pulling exercise, you're really strong right here, and then at the back you get really weak. And so if you set this machine up like this, it's heaviest where you're strongest, and right there it starts to fall off a little bit because those plates are actually getting closer to the axis. So it matches the strength and resistance profiles. It's pretty nice. It feels good too because you can kind of feel it dropping off a little bit where you get weakest at the end range right there. So you can really do this without using a lot of inertia and launching it back there. So this was a great one. It's fun. Try it out. Some of the guys that I look up to actually showed me that, so it's great. After that, I did a pull down, it's a Nautilus. I have a neutral grip. The most important thing here for me is getting the stretch at the top. So if you sit the seat down as low as you can, unless you have gorilla arms, you should be able to get that good stretch at the top. I'm going to get lats short everywhere else, but right now I'm focusing on the stretch. So I depress the shoulder blades first, then pull the elbows down toward the hips. So right here I kind of let the shoulder blades elevate as much as possible. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Initiate with the lats, slide them down, and then pull elbows down toward the ground. Good stretch here. This wasn't really heavy for me, but I wanted strict form. I wanted everything to look good. And what you can't see is my feet are actually tucked back behind me, so my angle changes and I get to go forward just a little bit to have a better stretch. You can do that as long as the thigh pads are actually snug along your hips. That way you won't pull yourself out of the seat. After that, I hit a Nautilus row, honestly, just because I was sick of doing pulls and the row was next to it. So I'm going to, and this is actually pretty heavy here, I'm going to let my shoulder blades protract, then I retract and pull. And what you can't see here, this is just an intention. When I get all the way back, I'm trying to wrap my elbows all the way around my rib cage and touch them together. Just doing that will really contract the lats and you will feel it. I mean, you will definitely feel a difference rather than just rowing straight back. And this, like I said, this is pretty heavy here. I don't know how many reps I got here, but it started to become very difficult toward the end. You can tell it's heavy because I had to put my feet toward the top because it was starting to pull me up out of my seat when my feet were lower. And overall, this is a pretty good set. This is probably one of my best sets through the day. This seems to always feel really good for me. My technique never really breaks down, and I feel it where I want to feel it. So after this one, I did a machine that I really regret. This is a shitty machine for me. It's theory, it's pretty cool, it converges on the eccentric and it diverges on the concentric. And I was thinking, oh, I'd get some rear delt here. And I kept playing with different foot positions. I never really felt anything that was great. When they were forward, I was definitely leaning back a lot. And then when I put them behind me, I felt like I was trying to lean forward. And it just, the path of motion wasn't ideal for my shoulders. So this one was kind of a waste. And after this, I wanted to get some traps. And I wanted to really isolate traps. Sometimes if I do it while I'm standing, I get everything involved, my legs, my lower back. So I took all that out of it, and I'm just squeezing the hell out of it. I actually like this machine. It sets up nice for me. You have a couple of different angles you can do it. You can stand up and face the back pad, or you can do it like I'm doing it because they have handles that are lower. This felt great. And so I got the top of the traps, and I wanted to get a little bit on the back, the lower traps. So I just hinged my hips and I worked some retraction as well as elevation. And I could really feel it exactly where I wanted to feel it. So you can always change your angle with something like this to start recruiting fibers maybe a little lower or fibers in a particular direction. After this, I wanted to get lower back. This is an exercise I learned in a training program. Probably the best in the world, actually. My execution's getting better. It's pretty difficult, actually. I'm thinking about draping over these thigh pads here, letting the spine round a bit, one vertebra at a time. Then I'm really trying to take my head out toward the wall and extend one vertebra at a time and really squeeze right there, and then have a little bit of shoulder blade retraction at the top and then slowly let it go. And I promise you, if you do these with strict form and you avoid throwing it up there, your lower back will be on fire within just a few reps. So overall, that was my back workout. It was pretty complete. I enjoyed it. I didn't have much time, did a couple sets on all of it, but overall I felt pretty good.